Herzlich willkommen zur 7. Folge von der 2. Staffel. Heute mit Liza Mazur. Sie ist Managerin aus der Romandie und deshalb werde ich jetzt auch auf Englisch wechseln. Genau. So, welcome to our stream, Liza, again. You got the full experience already of a live stream.
Very excited to be with you guys tonight.
Yes, we are happy to have you here. I mean, we know each other for, I don't know how many years, 5 years or something. Yeah. When I was working at Suiza, she was already a manager, and now I am working as a manager as well. And we will have a little bit of talk about what a manager is doing, and also about your career. How did you start? Why did you choose this job? And also about your artists. Liza is managing Argyle, Shanti, ENL, Mega, and Mark Kelly at the moment. So check these people out. Maybe we will listen to some of them later on. And yes, hello again.
Hi.
I think we start with the category now, so we can go into the talk directly. So what is the biggest beginner mistake?
Beginner or at any stage, I would say the mistake would be to stop doing whatever you want to do and you're dreaming about. I've seen people not succeeding only if they stopped, and I've seen people not succeeding if they also don't plan their success, like your dream, how to get there, and setting yourself a goal. There is this sentence in my head right now is, if you did not plan your success, you planned your failure. I'm not sure who said it, and it's something similar like this, but it's really for any niche, I would say, for any department, really, it's like this. If you don't plan it, you plan yourself to fail, you know. Mm-hmm. And especially artists in development, I'd say really the mistake of stopping, if it's not for a reason, of course, if you don't feel it anymore, you don't want to proceed with music, but if it's really a dream of yours and you would stop at some point, especially when it comes to some key moments when you have a lot of attention and such things, that's a dangerous point to stop and like coming back after a while, you know, when you have to start again from scratch, and then the reputation is already there, but kind of fading out. So yeah, stopping is definitely a thing not to do. If you believe in yourself and believe in your dream and your wishes, then yeah, just keep on going.
Yeah, I think that's a good advice, because I think especially in our times, people are used to get a lot of things very fast, and without a lot of things to do to get there. So especially when you want to be an artist, you really have to have a long breath.
Yes,
right?
It takes a long time, yes.
But I think also as a manager, you need a long breath.
Same, yes.
So as I said before, Liza is also working as a manager, and she's doing it now for how many years you are a manager now?
Like really that I do it full time for myself, 3 years slowly, but longer together with since I started, and the label situation, etc. It's altogether about 8 years, I would say. So, but I would say only 2 last years that are actually very productive, and like, you know, I can see the difference. Like, okay, I am somewhere where it was my dream to be at some point, you know, in my life, and now now it's a new step is coming in, and like I'm looking forward for what's coming next.
I have to take care that I'm not going to ask you too many questions that I am interested in. Please, because I'm a manager as well. I think I have to stay a little bit general.
We can exchange a bit.
Yes, sure we will do that for sure. Because I was like, was it? Did it took so long? Like, I mean, 8 years, because you had to build the artists, or until you felt like, okay, I am able to do the whole management stuff I need to do? What was the reason that it took this amount of time to get there?
Life. To be honest, everybody I think has their own story. For me, it was long because in the very beginning, so I grew up in Vallis, you know, in Sion. I had never could imagine that there are any professions in the music industry. You know, I could only see the actual artists on TV when I was growing up, etc., etc. And it's only later in life that, okay, I understood that there were some different departments in music, and that in Switzerland it was also something existing, that we had labels, we had some headquarters, we had different things and lots of artists, music going on. So there is definitely a place to develop and a place to learn. But the problem was for me, for example, I never had an example, I never had a mentor, I never had somebody like that could maybe inspire me or something, you know, but I also had no resource and I didn't know where to look for them either. So it really, life made its thing. I traveled, I met people, I was always surrounded by either musicians, producers, radio people, or promoters who organized events, etc. So it's by being surrounded by these people, I could see, okay, he's doing this, he's doing that, what is he doing, you know, like, and then learn from these people. And then I met an artist. He somehow, I was helping him like on a genuine side, you know. I never expected something or planned something. It was just, oh, let's do this, let's do that. Oh, why don't we contact somebody, you know? And things started to come. And with that person, I met other artists and then I arrived into an environment where only this was surrounding me, literally. So, and then I got so much interested in this. I started to just read books by myself. I bought lots of different music business books about different topics, because I also didn't know what was also for me, really, you know. But it started with management already.
That would have been my next question. Like, did you wanted to be a manager, or did you like wanted to be in the music business?
I wanted to be in the music industry.
Yeah. Okay.
And I knew I could not sing. I knew I could not produce.
You
know what I mean? So actually, my background is in graphic design, and I studied arts in art school in Valais, and then I continued in Geneva, but didn't finish this one. And it's by doing graphic design for artists, like mixtapes, flyers, that I got into this circle of people, let's say, somehow.
I see.
And then I never left the circles. And I moved a lot within Switzerland, but always was surrounded by music people, you know. And so I think that's really like something for me then, you know. And so when I had an opportunity, I also opened a label with some guys in Zurich, Jazz Crew, Starter Gang, because that was a collective of musicians, of friends, let's say.
Yeah, I think Jazz Crew is also known in our area.
For sure, yeah.
For sure,
I think
some of our listeners
know
know them.
Yeah. Sangal in Zurich, yeah, for sure. And so when I arrived to the team, a few months later, we decided, okay, let's do something serious. We really built a label, and we got some partnerships with like for distribution, publishing, different things. And then this is where I was really like curious about, okay, I need to learn about it, because we're doing things as we are doing things, as we taught ourselves, you know what I mean? So it's never been like, oh, okay, we know how to do shit.
Yeah, this is one of the biggest problem with the management. There is not really like, you cannot do it like when you want to be working in a bank or as a conductor or whatever. You can do the appreciation stuff. I don't know the word in English. Yeah. And then you are this job, but in management.
Yes, and
I mean, I know you did some school.
Well, that's when we opened the label. I went straight. Then I was like, okay, no, there are schools that are teaching music business. You know, I had good connections to, and actually my very first artist that introduced me to management, let's say, is Article, is a UK-based artist from Birmingham. He used to come to Switzerland quite often because of connection with me. And then radios and some medias in Switzerland was really interested by him, like, oh, who is this guy? He was like a grime dancehall artist, a very special and something not very common in our scene, let's say. And it's via this person that all started for me. He told me like, but you're actually my management in Switzerland. And I was like, oh, am I? What should I do now, you know? No, yes. And then he told me, I actually finished a bachelor degree in Birmingham in music business. I was like, what? There's music business degree? Excuse me? So then I did my research and I went for a 2 months to Manchester. Then I did like a summer school or summer camp, where this was really the introduction to music business for me, like, from a professional point of view, you know. And but then of course I learned more like how it works in England in terms, like, let's say Suiza here, PRS there, Darari, it's a bit different, you know. So I learned more their way. But I mean, then it's all kind of same. You just need to make the difference. Okay, in Switzerland it's this and that, and who's taking care of what. Yes, and then coming back, COVID started actually. Then
Great.
that was
That's a super story.
Everything like that we think, oh my gosh, so annoying, all is for the best at the end, because COVID situation forced me to actually look for something. Like, okay, I needed to do something, because all the money from the label, like, me and my business partner, we paid ourselves the salaries, and there was nothing left, nothing was coming in, of course. So like I really had to shift my whole thinking, like, okay, but for me it was not a question not to work in music no more, you know. Then I already found myself, I think, and this was the label, like, before COVID. Then I thought, this is what I want to do. But also for me, working as like in the back office, it was not exciting for me. I really need to do things with the artists, you know. That was fun to work with Jazz Crew. I was always with them, like in the studio, on the creative process, the art direction, all. Then I discovered there was SAE Institute in Geneva who had this program, music business, and I applied. I had an interview, like very spontaneous over Zoom. Also, I did an exam, so I could enter in the second year directly, because I already had some experience. And they took me, and then that was the best fucking thing I've done. Oh, I hope we can swear here.
That's no problem.
For me, this was like the biggest thing that really made me understand. Like, for me, it was important to see the way I was doing things. Was it the right way? Was it the way that people expect outside there? You know, like our goal is also to export, of course, with the artists. So I need to know, okay, am I doing the things right? Also, if I contact people abroad, you know, do they think, what is this? You know, okay, we can take care of it. So I'm very glad that I did SIA Institute. It really changed a lot for me. And since then, already being at school, I was already like working on opening my own agency. And now, we're here.
Yes. How is the name of your agency?
It's Mazur Management. So please check me out.
Yes. We also will put the website in the show notes, of course. And if we have some new people, this is Liza Mazur. She's also a manager. And if you have questions like on what you have to take care in your career or stuff, you can ask her directly.
Yes, all the questions are welcome. Right now is such a good moment for this.
Yes, there's actually a question just came in right now. And Jadi World is asking, what's the biggest challenge you faced in the beginning getting into the music industry as a manager?
Do you know what? I would say in my situation, ignorance is bliss. Like, I had no idea what is going on, and I was just doing. And for me, I had my focus. I wanted to get in a place, and there were challenges, all financial challenges in Switzerland. Like, we have no support. I was in a place where, I had many different jobs on the side, but when I got started, so that's definitely the biggest challenge actually in the beginning, because you have to pay your rent, you have to eat, you have to like support your artists, and in the beginning, obviously, doesn't really pay off right away. So you have to be prepared mentally to there will be personal life challenges actually coming into this, and you will need to deal and separate both like work and just the rest of your life.
Yes,
and the management. You know,
I know what you mean.
Probably would be a bit different, like, or also to grow your network in the beginning when you start and you have no contact and nobody knows you. Like, it's very it takes really a minute that people know who you are, or they know your artist, so they have a reference. And you need to do a lot of, like, you have to be a very open-minded person, and I think have no fear into contact the people and like really go for it, being very proactive.
Yeah, but you also have to feel people because, I mean, as a manager, you are also kind of a psychologist for your artists. Sure. And it's also in this industry, it's a lot about how people feel in your, how do you say, not absence, when you're in your attendance. Thanks. That was the word that I was searching. So, you know what I mean? It's always like just a short time and then people make a picture from you.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you are not able to be a little bit charming and know what people want to hear and how you have to interact with them, this is also, I think, a very important part of management.
That totally comes with experience. Like when I got started, I just, as I say, like you don't have really a reference how you should stand, how you should talk, what is the energy, what do the people think about. It's just go and ask, really. And then with time, also when you go back to the same people, like let's say it's a radio station or something, every time you have a release, you go and hit them up. In the beginning, they're maybe not going to respond because it's a new artist, like we need to see, is he popping, is he doing stuff? And they don't know you, so but after the 7th, 8th times that you hit them up, they'll be like, okay, they're doing something, they're gonna take a look at it.
So excuse me, would you say like one of the biggest challenges is being open-minded and to all the stuff that the industry comes along with, and still stay true to yourself? Would you put it like this way, if you say like one of the challenges is like ignorance is bliss, and you say you still got to be open-minded and open to new things, but still stay true to yourself, and it's a learning process.
I would say this is more applying to the artists, but if you start as a manager, it's not really like, you just need to be very proactive. And I think in the beginning is always a bit difficult because you don't have the confidence, you don't have the network, you don't have the name. So it's the process of making this name for either yourself or the artist, because both, like, you represent each other anyways. Yes, the financial situation is definitely something, because if you want to do management, you need to have in the beginning probably a job or two on the side, or and then being very flexible with your time, because if you have like a job in a gastro, you leave your phone on the side, you cannot access it for the next 8 hours. If somebody needs you, no chance. So it's a lot of like personal decisions to make, and for me, I think I'm very, it took me a lot of time, and I did a lot of these things. I did have many jobs. I did have like struggles also, like how to deal with artists, how to deal with media, what to do, it's really a working
process.
Yeah, and every day really.
You just can be sure about, for me, I experienced like you can be sure that after a few months there will be a discussion. Some stuff like that you will know that in the beginning everybody's very exciting, then you start work, then after a few months you will realize if the artist is really meaning it or if he was just telling that he wants to do a professional career. Then there will be the moment when the opinions go for the first time not in the same way. Stuff like that you can predict with the time, but actually it's also very it depends on the artist how it works, right?
Yes. And there's just no promise in anything. There is no guarantee for anything. So if like you have to have your heart in it full, really, you have to have this passion.
You even have to have more trust in the artist than himself.
Yes, and it's also a topic I would like to touch maybe later if it comes in, but since it is now, there is also this danger of actually being in a position where you want it more than the artist does. This is really wrong.
That's a red
flag. As soon as you feel it right away, yes. Yeah. Because it took my time. Also, there were a couple of situations and also, like this.
I think the most thing that you give, and that's what they sometimes don't see, is the effort. I mean, you are really in with your heart, and this is an energy, a love that you are giving for this project. And when you are realizing that you're more into it than the person itself, difficult.
Yeah, very. But
you brought something with you.
Yeah, so because we started about where I come from and like how I started in the music. So actually, my very significant thing that made me do it was I went to Jamaica for the very first time in 2017, a very early January or so. And this is the place where I met, for example, this UK musician Article. And this is the place that really got me very much inspired. I've seen so much like actual music personalities, professionals, and just music everywhere on this island. That was so impressive. Like for me, that was okay. Already I was into reggae music and stuff. So of course I wanted to come back. And of course I wanted to meet new people there and musicians. So I met lots of like young and upcoming musicians at that time. So now they're a lot bigger. It's really a very great, like, rewarding to see and witness that as well, you know, because it feels like, okay, we're coming somewhere from like a similar something, you know.
And when it starts to work, it's just a good feeling, right?
And so from the very first time that I came back, my thing, because I was still in the graphic design, I brought through this copy. This is the project Promised Land. Promised Land Swiss. I came back with so much material from Jamaica. It was interviews, text, photography, brands, like lots of different things. And so I decided to put it together. And instead of just having photos on your phone, you never check, you know, I was like, okay, no, I want to do something meaningful so I can send it to the people there. I can promote Jamaican culture around here. So all the photographies from me, the graphic design and all. And then this one magazine, one copy is actually even at the National Library in Bern.
Wow.
Yeah, and then this magazine really expanded into a brand. So we started to organize events in Geneva. I started it. It was all under the same name. Events, we invited lots of like Jamaican or just dancehall and Caribbean type DJs. We did a clothing brand. There was lots of things that were like expanding from this little magazine. Then there was some interviews, also an Instagram page. Now with time, of course, it went down. But that was actually my first thing. So I had to contact artists, you know, for this. I had to contact some brands and stuff. So that's how I was like, okay, this is how it works.
And
exactly.
it's fun.
You know, yeah, and so then, that's then I met Article there. We did this magazine situation together. He came back to Switzerland many times. Then I moved to Zurich, and boom.
So, but before we go more into your career, maybe we have to explain a little bit what a manager is doing, because I mean, I did start with this 2 years ago, and until now, I'm sometimes not sure, because I experienced it as an individual thing. Every management, I mean, there are some stuff that every management does, but there is not like, this is a classic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how do you explain your job? What are you doing in your job when someone is asking?
Okay, so I do think it's very individual to managers, but also like to artists and such, like how you work with each artist. I think so. The main points, of course, like you need to be somebody that is very organized. So you need to understand all the legal situation where you get the money for the artist, etc. So the organizations, collecting societies, and so on, different departments that you need to work with to build your artist. So building a team, that's something, it's on the management side. So you are the one who will be mainly looking for a label, publisher, booker, whatever, all of these things. Yeah. Keeping a calendar together as well for the artist. Networking for the artist, so PR. Like the thing is also in your career as a manager, I also think you evolve a lot. So either with your artist or when you change, or it doesn't matter. So in the beginning, I was doing everything. Also, a big example, I would say, it's Mega, the one that really we started from almost from scratch together. And in 3 years, like the results were really big for someone coming also from a little place in Romandie, in Vevey, you know, that we could only also singing or rapping in French. It was very, very challenging to bring him to to be heard here on the German side, for example. The
I know what you mean.
So we did it, after a couple of years, and so yeah, that's a good example we can discuss later in detail.
Can we listen to something of him, maybe?
Sure, yeah.
Quickly?
I think would be a good reference track is called Berger. It's a featured track with a French rapper, but it's not really about this. It's more because this is the last project. Yes, he's been nominated for a couple of awards with this song, so I think it's always a good...
Can you repeat the song again? Mega, M-E-G-A?
Berger.
Ice. Tout vient du zoo, tout sort du zoo. Ah oui, je chantonne pas, c'est mon âme qui fait du bruit. Chaque cesse son pas, rien qui se crée des ennemis. Roule en mera dès 10h30. Allez va là-bas, trop curé j'ai croqué le calaba. Sorcière esprit pour Calaba. Vif aller-retour comme à là-bas. J'étais là-bas, je suis déjà là-bas. Le berger nous ramène la salada, jusqu'à la da. J'allume une grosse bâche, je reste près du bat. Évasion sous psychotique, je pense au fait que je resterai très loin du pacte. Heure sur l'impact, on va le faire sans eux. Rien qu'ils ont la haine, leur avis c'est pas la peine. Ils sont pas dans le thème, rien qu'ils cherchent l'antenne. Vision par centaines, avec ou sans thème. Rien qu'on les ramène, pas trop de slow, y'a tous les flows. J'ai pas besoin d'un silo, juste un événement va plus haut.
So, I think it's very cool, and I also like that Romandie artist is getting known in this area. So you started with him from the scratch. What does this mean?
I wouldn't say from the scratch. He started, with a team of people in his region, and life happened. Like we met at an event with his first manager, let's say, a friend of his, and they were telling me that how much they're looking to expand as well their reach, and the Mega is ready right now, and he's got so much music ready, etc., etc. And I took the time. A couple of meetings later, Mega asked me to be his full-time management, let's say, for him. That was really, we became like this, on the professional side. It's everything almost was so smooth, I mean, of course, discussions, art direction, and
relationship.
It's the trust. It's only really based on trust, the management and artist situation, for sure. But in terms of what a manager does or should do, I don't know, it's a lot of PR, it's a lot of network, and actually it's just talking. You need your manager to talk for you, to say your name as much as possible. And and maybe if anybody is interested, some things that you should look in for a manager, I think there are a couple of very important points. Of course, you want your manager to kind of enjoy your music, of course. Very important is that you guys get along, so that you have a good feeling. Listen to your gut feeling, super important. But then very essential things is, I don't think it matters. In the beginning, maybe also start with a friend of yours who wants to support, but and
I
he
don't think this is the best way to do it.
Of course, but when you have no thing and you're alone.
Yeah, but I think we should go from the perspective when you are able to have a real manager. I mean, I don't want to say the friends are not, but I mean when you are, for example, you are managed to get to a label, and the label is saying, okay, now you need a manager.
Yeah, how many managers do they have to offer?
But this is why I'm saying, if it's a friend, I don't, you know what I mean? We can go into this also, but I want to start because what is a professional manager? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it wasn't really the point. Also, it's not about is your friend or not your friend, but it's more about the person doesn't need to have a huge network from day one that you work together, but it needs to be somebody proactive, going for it.
Who
you need something
about it.
And if your artist is mentioned, I would like to be featured there. Okay, directly you take your phone. Oh, who is dealing there? Oh, LinkedIn, this, that. Okay, I'm calling the next day. like you want someone like this, and this is the way
That's
where
true,
network will grow.
I think this is also more important than that he's a very professional manager at an agency or something, right?
Exactly. And also this is a lot less personal, and I think,
Yeah, and I also heard from artists that are working now with me and have work with stuff like that. They always say like, it was so not personal. I felt just like a number. And I think this is the point. I agree with you. It's more important that you feel that is somebody that is standing behind you, who is enthusiastic and really wants you to win.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, actually, you are, and the manager is really on the same level as the artist, because you are in the contact with everyone that is involved in the artist's career. So you're the person of reference, you're the person who's talking to these people. And so trust between the manager and the artist is, crucial, really. And then the rest of it is partners. These are people already here for the numbers, So the manager should be really very empathic, as I think this is something very important. I think as well, empathy.
Empathy, yeah. But you also have to. This is why I got in by the topic friend, because for me I have like the rule, I don't manage my friends because I am too scared of this. When you are, we also like each other, but we are based on a professional relationship. So when I say something that is a critic or something, I don't take. I mean it personally. But the other thing is, it's so hard that the people don't feel like they attack you personally. You know what I mean? And if you have just this friend zone out of it.
But you become eventually friends anyways. You spend so much time.
That's the problem,
I don't think it,
what
really
I'm trying
depends.
to say is like how you keep the distance, because yes, you are friends, especially when you are for a long time together. There is a friendship and stuff like that. How do you keep the distance when it comes to a problem or something, so that they don't take it personally? Or is it even not possible?
I think it's of course, but it's the way how you present to the artist, like how you develop this it's strategy also, but we're not friends like besties, we're doing everything together and but we're definitely our friends. We can go to an event together. We're like very supportive to each other, and this is the development of the relationship. I think it's crucial that there is a trust that is I don't know, it's very individual at the end.
But
for
I think
each,
you did mention it in a good way, because you said we are good friends, but we are not besties. So maybe to make it a little bit more facile, you can be friends, but don't go on holidays together, for example.
But also,
so don't be that close friends.
I don't know. Honestly,
you already did it.
No. I did trips with my artists, for sure. We did professional trips, I don't know. I think you have to go through all and everything. If you feel like this is like would be good for us. Also, actually taking time off together with your artists and go somewhere like, I don't know, nature, museum, stuff like this is very beneficial for both. Like, also I like to do it, to take an artist and go, okay, let's go to Kunsthaus today, and we spend just an afternoon there, not talking much, but I can see like how they can grab inspiration somewhere else than just being like in their studio, spending the whole day.
But this is still in a working way of thinking. I think this is the difference.
But that's what I mean by empathy,
tell my problems or discuss my problems with my artist.
Of course not.
This is, for example,
it's
a
just
distance. That was the question, right? How do you take the boundaries? And for me, for example, I don't talk about my problems when there is something, I inform them, but I'm not going to them for advices, for example.
Okay.
This is the difference in the friendship for me.
I just really have a very individual approach with each of them, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not something you can say, it has to be like this or it has to be like that. It's an experience between you and me. So it's not a contract or a deal who's going to tell me how to work with you. It's really how we feel each other. And if I see that
individually. It's like individually, you
Very
have like
individual,
every person is individual, and you never know. You can have your boundaries. I'd say you can have your boundaries set, like you have your principles and everything. But I think like when you're working with somebody, there is no way out of getting to know each other in a certain way, or getting to know each other in order to work together. And especially I think as a manager, you have to like also be able to observe how they are interacting, how they're acting, as you said before, where they get their inspiration from. So the boundary is already set in the professionalism. So what develops afterwards is out of control, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's true.
Yeah, because you don't know who's gonna stand in front of you and what's going to develop in a relationship. But it's always good to have boundaries to set for,
Of course.
for yourself. I think that's what y'all trying to communicate with each other. So, of course, it's important to have a business relationship with your artist, but it's also very important to know them on a personal level, to understand where their artistry is coming from, so the work can expand for both parties.
I think this is why I was getting into this question that much, is because I think this is one of the most difficult parts as a manager. This individual, because what I'm trying to say is like, when you are thinking about what is it to be a manager, people always see the fun parts, like you're at concert and you're doing this, but this complexity of these relationships, this is what I'm trying to
It's also
get
a lot
on.
of psychology, to be honest. And I mean, it's really on the manager to adapt, because that's why I'm saying it's very individual, because I have artists that they're a lot more sensitive as people naturally. So there is another approach. I'm going to talk to them about serious matters. Then I talk to another artist who will be a lot more like sure about himself, etc., etc. You know, it's just the approaches, and the friendship also develops in different ways. And but
Yes.
not besties, no.
But I think we got the point now, right? And if not, you can write it into the chat. But maybe we have some new people. I will repeat, this is Liza Mazur. She's a music manager, and we are talking about her job, her career, about her artists as well, of course. And if you have questions to her, you can ask, and Alia will tell us.
Hello everyone, this is Liza Mazur and Nina, and we have a breaking news.
Yeah, our podcast and live stream was fucked up this day. Yeah, we got kicked out. I'm sorry, that's the fucking breaking news, but we will do another one.
On the 18th of July at 7 p.m.
Yes.
Stay with us.
And we will talk about the managing stuff more, because we just started with the interesting things.
We will touch topics like label, publisher, career development, and you can always ask your questions again.
Yes. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.